podcast. What's going on? Fuckers and fuckers, I do salute you for all of you NFG followers out there. And I did have a pair of sunglasses, but of course those have disappeared off the face of the earth. How is everybody? Hope everyone's having a great new year. It hasn't started yet, has it? Well, it did somewhere, right? Us Americans with our male white faces being so ethnocentric, you know? That's a really big, stupid word for the concept of people thinking that the world revolves around them, you know? But it could. Very well could. For all we know, everybody else is just an NPC, and I'm just a really well-made one that everybody gets to watch and enjoy. I hope everyone had a great 2024, and whatever happened in it, even if it wasn't that great, something better and weirder is gonna happen in 2025. I can guarantee that shit. So, let's see, while we're here screwing around a little bit, hanging out with some of the folks here on YouTube that are gonna get the chance to watch, which, bless you. We have a new baby guinea pig to be friends with the remaining guinea pig that we had as a mascot. So rest in peace to Worcestershire Wagner. And Wilhelm Wagner is taking up the mantle as the big boy, and we got a tiny guinea pig with a special name that will be revealed at, let's see, what time is it now? Should be 11:24. So at 11:30, 6 minutes from now, we will have a major reveal of the guinea pig, the new guinea pig, the baby. He's a baby, actually. He's still a baby. We're going to do the reveal of his name. And it's another W, so any guesses are welcome in the comments, even though there's nobody watching, supposedly. I find that very strange. Especially because we used hashtag Happy New Year in, I believe, the description and the title. But at the same time, I'm happy with whoever gets to see this, even if it's later on. I'm only doing the majority of what I've been doing for the people that have stuck around, and the shadow ban has pretty much prevented anybody new, or at least very few people, from ever even getting to even see my work or enjoy any of it. So this is for those people that have been there, you know, and for those new ones, of course, and for the new people. We always have a little bit of fun. And in that spirit, I got something to show you guys. Check this out. This will be fun. Here we go. This will be the first part of our journey into madness. I don't know why it's not turning around. YouTube Live gives me a lot of weird problems. Okay, so that is a picture of the Aurora that we got last year. It's a bunch of junk in the way. You'll have to excuse that. This is a major project, having this tiny baby guinea pig, which I maybe should have hashtagged that instead. Maybe that would have been a more attractive. But yes, we have a picture that I got last year in the Westport, I think it was the Horseneck Beach location. And it wasn't the dead of winter, but it was really cold this day. I believe it was an early winter. And the aurora is real, but the obvious creatures of lore in the corner there are not. And, you know, I am curious, though, how people feel about the whole mix of pagan stuff and, you know, St. Nicholas and how all that works out. We also had some lovely music that I couldn't tie into this, so you'll have to enjoy what you get here. And they're going to make this one difficult to see. Why? I have no idea. Yeah, we're just going to make our own slideshow at this point. There we go. So you may recognize this this gentleman from Thanksgiving time, or Fucksgiving. If you don't, it's perfectly okay. He's actually been roiding up recently. It's the most buff pilgrim still left near Plymouth. No, it's actually it's me. This is not me, and this is what AI considers turkeys on platters. So that was I don't know exactly where it got the idea that the forks should be freaking huge. Actually, no, wait, no, yeah, that was the initial idea, I think. I'm not sure. I forget. I wonder if the prompts would still show up in the old project. I'll have to take a look. But we used this baseline towards our Christmas specials. We were giving away free images, and this was actually a new logo that we created recently. As you can see, hopefully, that is also not my grandmother. And for some reason, her vest is made of somebody else's hair. So yeah, AI is really bad with letters too, and this is another example of that. This is only going to be a short part of this podcast, about 15 minutes before the ball drop, or midnight coming, whatever you want to call it, will be popping back into the standard show. 11:30, we'll be telling the new name of our baby guinea pig. It's a really special name. Starts with a W, and of course, he has my last name, so it's you get a lot of W's involved. See, and now this is what you get, a prime example of the de-aging process, going from what looks like somebody that maybe forgot an accessory to maybe they borrowed somebody else's accessories. I'm not sure exactly what's going on there with the dentures, or luckily this is so far removed from what my grandmother actually looks like at this point that I feel pretty comfortable making fun of it. And she's already come across some of this stuff and has had a lot of fun with it, and we have her permission. So love you, Grandma. Happy New Year. I wonder if anybody else is using AI to manipulate images of their grandmother during during this fine time of the new year and the winter. We're gonna be stuck inside for a lot of time, especially with maybe upcoming blizzards in the next week, which we can talk a little bit about really quickly. Is it 11:30 yet? Can I drop the name? Ooh, all right. We have 30 seconds left. So, any last minute guesses of the guinea pigs, the baby guinea pigs name, the newest mascot for the show? Starts with a W, and it's going to emotionally affect everybody that hears it. Are we ready? The guinea pig's name is Wuhan. That's right. That's right. You're welcome. You're welcome. Wilhelm is the progenitor. Worcestershire unfortunately passed away recently, and we now have Wuhan Wagner as the new baby mascot. And right now he's eating. So I'm kind of being a little bit more quiet than what I usually am. I'm very, most of the time. But we also have a lot of people sleeping. A lot of people couldn't handle this new year, and my resolution is to get like a Great Gatsby group type of people where they're all willing to party. They're all of affluent part, so that way that everybody can pitch in something at the door, because I'm not paying for this shit myself. I may look like the Great Gatsby. I may act a little flamboyant, but I'm still banging bitches. You know what I mean? But I don't want to go to Rhode Island to get mansions and all this fun stuff, because then what ends up happening is I got to apply for food stamps for sure at that point. And unless, of course, I don't know if the rules still apply like that crazy shit in California where you can just walk into somebody's house and be like, I live here, but if not, it would be rather rough out there. And if you apply for food stamps, you're gonna get your shit hacked, and then China's gonna tell everybody about how much money you don't pay on your bills, or whatever the fuck they're doing out there. Feeding these AI gods that all of these psychos are praying to. So let's have a little bit more fun with this AI here, now that we've done the big reveal. And he's in there somewhere, but I don't want to disturb him because he is actually a baby guinea pig. But we actually have footage coming out of Wilhelm in the morning, and he needs a clipping and a bath, and then we have a playtime where it's like a little meeting between the two tomorrow. So that should be interesting. It'll be the first time they meet, so you guys get to see that. All right, so this is my grandma not hunting. They definitely made her neck thicker, so she see what we have here. This is a bird with a wing where it shouldn't be, so she's probably hunting in Chernobyl trying to get the rarest of quail. Then you've also got some lovely flowers here that she probably put in her hair and dropped her Elmer Fudd hat once the gun went off. She's got the Dick Cheney position. There may or may not be a friend in a tree lined up here. And you've also got what looks like an acorn and a leaf mixed together. So that's really creative on AI Spar. I like that. She appears not to like that, but she also appears like that in most images because she's gone for the Audrey Hepburn look. For those of you that don't know who that is, that joke may be a little bit funny to you. Now, in this particular image, it shows that she has changed what weapon she's specializing in, but she's also, because of that, gained extreme strength, and now her neck is thicker than ever. It appears thicker, but it's actually flattened out like a cobra because in order to catch these vicious birds, she wasn't able to use whatever the hell kind of crazy gun this is. That definitely cannot be real and has no discernible trigger. So she literally just hisses at them incredibly loudly. She'd spit venom, but then she can't sell the birds. So she just captures them with her neck and chokes them out. This is my grandma. Love you, grandma. So this is when I realized that I was going to be the next Ryan Reynolds, and that eventually I was going to own a very cheap phone, cell phone that people could purchase. But I didn't decide on what it's going to look like yet because it's in the future. So I only got this far. I wonder how everybody feels about that. And at the same time, I wonder how many of you out there, we're going to start a poll right now. How many of you are wearing pants? How many of you should be? Maybe that should be the question. What do we got here? Let's zoom this one in. Let's get the finer detail. Oh, wait, I can't because I suck as an editor. Oh, goodness gracious. Is it, I set the age appropriateness to where I can say fuck me, right? All right. Well, anyway, you can kind of see a little bit if I zoom in a fun way. There we go. That's not dizzying at all. Whee. It's like we went back to the 70s, which I never experienced. So we have me in what looks like a 1950s photo of buildings that are somewhat like that movie Inception because they appear to have no end. I thought that was really fun and creepy, as well as the half of a body just walking around behind me. And I'm like, what the fuck is that? You know? And then in this one, I have what looks like a Kangol hat, but I'm pretty sure that it'd be kind of weird to have Nightmare Before Christmas Kangol hat in the male section. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this is a new market. Very dark image because the image was kind of shitty. As you can see, my face is a little too clear for how dark the image looks. Actually, it looks amazing on YouTube's. It looks amazing on YouTube's feed compared to how it actually looks on the TV screen. So that's really interesting. Oh, grandma, thick-necked grandma. What are we doing here? This is, I think, a refinished version, or no, it's maybe a prior version to this. Her neck is in real life is nowhere near this thick, but it is guaranteed to be just as strong. Probably not venomous. I don't really know. You know, you kind of don't want to question grandma like that when she gives you that sort of look, and when it's possible that she could produce venom. Does anybody's grandmas out there produce venom? Are they at your New Year party right now hissing at you? I want to know. I'm sure the fans and the other people that watch the show want to know too. You know, because if that's true and your grandmother's hissing at you or other people at a New Year's party right now, you should probably tell people because like this, you know, there's drones and alien invasions and shit. So like if grandma's hissing, or if there's like an old lady, I forget the name of the movie, but it was like angels taking over the earth or some shit like that, and then she started saying some really vile shit to this pregnant lady, and she starts eating raw meat for some reason, and then crawling across the ceiling, so they shoot her with a shotgun. But it's like, you know, maybe, you know, if they would have just let her eat, she wouldn't have been as hangry. I don't know. That was a pretty wild movie, though. I would like to get into the movie review business. Speaking of movie reviews, this actually looks like it could be a movie, but nothing in this scene actually happened at all except for my face being as good looking as it is. This is not my body. This is not my ass. Somewhat reminiscent, though, you know, toned. Yet again, not real, so I feel comfortable saying this. You've also got what has to be the most adorable, disgusting dog, because look, what the fuck is coming out of it? Got like a tentacle or drool or some shit. If it's coming out of the other end, we're getting rid of it. We might have to. I was gonna say something terrible. I'm not. She's looking at me smiling right now, right? Because she's like, he doesn't know it's coming out of the other end yet. He's still having a good day. And then this guy's like, there's something in my shoe, and this guy's laughing his ass off at this guy. None of this happened. I was never in a city that looks anything like this. This was me standing on a dock in New Bedford, Massachusetts, looking through a cloud of mist that you couldn't see shit. And this was when I first started photography, so I thought, oh, abstract art, it's beautiful, but not enough for people to be excited about it. And then come to find out that that wasn't true. That in fact, I live in what they call what they call not free what discount America, maybe we'll call it, because it's not free anymore. My oh me. Oh. Looks like that airport metal this shit is made of is not as strong as they say. Oh goodness gracious. That's barely balanced. But alright. See, there's always a little bit of action happening. If there isn't an ass flashing. Lucky for all of you. I haven't had I was gonna say I haven't had to need the shower yet. The last time I made a joke like that, I had about what two or three different videos where somebody was asking whether or not I'd cleaned up. And I don't, the shadow ban is real, and I don't have enough followers to be that concerned about my taint. You would think. This guy's like, you're laughing at this sad motherfucker, but you got the same shit in your shoe. Oh, bitch. All right. Is it a happy new year yet? Am I happy yet? Are you? Have you hit the share button? Do you like? Do you subscribe to the idea of possibly watching another video? I wonder. I'm going to make a video about making a video. Then I'm going to make a video about making a photo. I'm going to share that shit to you guys tomorrow. You're going to see a video of two pigs seeing each other for the first time ever. They're guinea pigs. Here you're actually seeing two grotesque pigs fighting each other. Yeah. So, this isn't the new CRISPR twin technology. I'm fixing this. Oh, Jesus. We had a camera malfunction for those of you that are just joining the stream now, so I'm trying to fix. There it is. All right. So I do not have a twin. Just letting everybody know. And also didn't do too superb on this editing job, but what I do find strange is that it was not AI, but real life that chose to make my hands lighter than my forearms. I'm not sure what's going on there. I do not wear gloves at beaches in the winter that I'm not at. Not sure what's going on there. Getting a little chunky too. Oof. Oof, that fupa. No good. Here we have, I think, the same image we were looking at before, except there's a little more emphasis on the fedora and how lackluster it is. Just, is that even really technically a fedora? I'm not sure. It kind of looks like the fedora for that guy that was eating the ice cream out of his own head for a while for that sick-ass Haagen-Dazs-esque commercial. Now they have the ladies dressed, well, if they are ladies, who knows, dressed in gold with no shoes on because foot fetishes are somehow still a thing. This looks more and more like there's like somebody in the military like walking up behind me, but then they become my backpack for some reason. So it's like, is that a metaphor for something? Like the war is weighing on me, carrying all this bullshit. Why do I have a metal soup can? A metal soup dish, I mean. Watch Townsend's, you'll know what I mean. They carried a lot of weird, crazy metal shit that didn't make any sense, and now you got MREs and stuff. So like, put that shit in a bag, son. But I haven't eaten horse meat either, so. Meanwhile, I heard that your moms and your sisters have, oh gee, they've had a lot of horse meat. I'm playing with you. Happy New Year's, yeah. We're having a good time. Okay, so there's a little bit more of this here. Here it looks like I'm either about to get jumped or I'm about to try to take their last coupons that I was going to use to super coupon. I'm going to ask them nicely probably, but this is just the last place that I, was able to encounter them because the supermarket's right here, but it's, still early in the morning. This actually isn't nighttime. And these are actually very fine gentlemen and ladies that are doing, and there's one or two of them that are in between and mixed race. They're all very inclusive. There's a homeless in there. They're gonna throw a few nickels to. It's gonna be nice. This whole setup is actually extremely nice. The coupons are gonna make it so that way they have to pay me for when I go inside the store to buy a whole bunch of bullshit for that homeless guy that I'm gonna throw at him, but I'm gonna throw it lightly enough where it doesn't hurt him. There's like jackets and like bags of rice and shit, and he's like, "Hey, what are you doing?" And he's like, "That doesn't hurt, but and thank you, but why are you throwing that at me?" And I'm just like, I'm taking out my stress, but in the least violent way possible. Okay. So here we have what looks like a Thanos-esque jaw, right? Or I'm really trying as hard as I can to join a Serbian rock band. And this could also be uh, this could also be the first time I visit Ireland and I'm afraid of copping a beating, so I keep a goatee on because I have no idea how the fuck to drive their cars. Uh, this one doesn't look so bad. This one you might be able, I don't know, if you don't have like a torso. But this, not sure what's going on there. And you got some machines like ostriches. This is probably the more bland of them. There's a band-aid on my face, so we're going way back to the Nelly style. This is definitely an old school photo. Nothing yet again, as I said before, ever, and none of this happened at all, ever. It's not real. None of this is real. All AI. This is completely AI as well. I promise you, I swear to God, on all that's holy. Although I will tell you, despite the fact that this wig looks absolutely horrible in every bad way you could possibly think of, there's like 7 different hair things going on at once. What looks like a grudge fist coming out to try to rub conditioner into my Sarah Gellar, whatever the hell her name was from that stupid vampire shit. And all of a sudden she's in the grudge, and it's like, oh yeah, awesome, she's hot. And then there's someone's hands in her hair, but she's not in the shower, and it's like, oh, was that a chick? Is this gonna be awesome? And then it's not. It's just really scary and gross, and I have nightmares now. Especially like how I'm seeing this. I've had nightmares ever since I've created it. Ever since AI was like, hey, listen, is this what you meant? I don't remember ever saying I want to know what I look like as a. I don't even know what the fuck you would call this. I'm still in the land of Inception. I'm the shittiest spy ever, meant to trick Leonardo DiCaprio into thinking that I'm his ex-wife or some shit. And I'm like, oh, don't worry, I'll let you jump on the table. You don't have to stay in the cold water. Am I mixing movies here? I don't know, because I'm mixing genders. What the hell is going on here? Even the jacket is like male still. But then, like, I don't understand why it's like, listen, you need 3 different people's scalps stacked on top of your head to look crazier than you do with a beard and ladies' hair. I don't know. I could have maybe pulled this off if I was like, in a Led Zeppelin type band in the 60s and 50s and shit. And I was like, I've been in the metal shops for so long, I don't even know what me brain and coat is exactly. And then I become famous just for the fact that I found whatever the hell this is. Like, so it was some sort of artifact in Egypt. And they were like, is it one of these orbs that's flying around? Does it glow in the night and roll on your table without you having to touch it? And I'm like, are you talking about this weird, crazy fucking object that's over here? It makes no sense. Or are you talking about my balls? I want to know. Because we're thinking about removing them every time I dress like this. Just to be clear, this isn't real either. We're having fun. So here it looks like I have finally got my merit badge for being an absolute jackass. I also have my fake sheriff's badge that I got from Toys R Us. This these are the three guys that actually started Toys R Us, and they're like, "Oh my God, let's sell shoes." And they finally realize, he's like, "That's a dumb fucking idea." And he's like, "I'm already making fucking toys, and I got a weird collection in my house of them." And it's pretty much the same iteration of what you guys saw earlier with the dog and the lady, except they're not having their weird interaction, and the alien hasn't taken over the dog. There's a dog with the alien in it. Okay. Are we going in the wrong direction here? Okay. Here we go. So this we were using for a title page for a while. This is one of my first attempts at trying to even out things like tone and objects and AI manipulation. As you can see, I kind of gave up on the microphone here. But yeah, all in all, fun, cute, you know. Pretty sure you wouldn't see all these objects all at once. I was trying to make it so that way this UFO was dropping all of this shit, including me, and this is kind of what I got really quick. And I thought it was so funny with the seagull that I was like, we have to put this because the seagull looks way too real. Very, very elegant. Speaking of elegance, don't know what that is. Uh, Basically, I started this whole line of images. Okay, that's something else. Um, you got to hit the share button so we can all have fun, folks. Remember that. So this is definitely what could be the title page for a book or a movie, or a series or any sort of other shit. And this is totally my my imaging. We have our tags on it and all that stuff. And I like to hide them so that way assholes try shit. And you know the fun thing is you can take one image that this starts off from, which is basically just my grandma at a bridge. I believe it was in Fall River, Massachusetts. Holla. We were out there for a photo shoot. Let's see if we can get past some of this really fun stuff that we'll be showing you guys in a little bit. To try to find where's the fucking pictures of my grandma. Okay. As you can see, we've had a lot of fun holidays. Here we go. Okay. Y'all just got a teaser. See, if you watch the show continuously, this is sort of stuff you don't miss out on. Okay. And if you share it, then you get to talk to other people about it. So this is, I believe there was only 2 images that I worked with, and I created, I think, over 10 maybe within the course of one night. And I've yet to show anybody how much output I can do with this. But if I have a solid day, I can probably output 100 solid images that are totally unique based off of just one or two. This AI is extremely powerful. We use Adobe's editing suite primarily, although I have used a few free apps as well. And I think I've done some past episodes on some of that stuff, but of course, if the fans have one they're interested in or a new one to check out that they'd like me to look at, I'm always available to do so, considering I'm always doing something new. So as you can see, there's always room for difference, but at the same time, if you this is kind of like the same image as what you saw earlier in the prompt form, which is like the words that I'm the words that I'm typing in order to get the AI to create this image, or at least what parts of it aren't real. And this would be just a slight change from what I had earlier, or maybe it's one of the 3 variations I got off of one sentence, paragraph, whatever I used in order to create this. We have done a few videos already where we did the step-by-step process for everybody to see, and there was also some really fun, unique images on there, such as what you're seeing now. This one in particular was rather foolish, but it got slightly more foolish. There's a couple of guinea pigs pretending to be reindeer, and me pretending to be an elf. And one real fun thing that's going to be happening with the show is over the next few weeks, we will be creating a lot of different content, new shows, things that people aren't really used to from our brand per se, but it's all because of a step up and an upgrade. So really over the course of the next like couple weeks, a couple months, you guys are going to see some really wild stuff that I'm pretty excited about. including things like this. See if I can get you guys a better view here. Oh yeah, it works. This should work right here. There we go. So this, I was trying to do a few experiments with my my uncle's head. He did a photo shoot with me, and I tried to. He likes the ocean stuff, so I tried to see if I could get like a sort of him creating Atlantis with his breath at the ocean sort of vibe, and that's the sort of shit that you end up with sometimes. Beautiful, but doesn't really hit the topic on the head of what it is I'm trying to accomplish. So continued the process, and now it gives him hair for some reason when he's clearly bald. This was a fun one we were trying out just to see what the fake versions of the astrophotography stuff that they had was, because that's something I specialize in and teach people. And that's what we got. So, I mean, it's not bad, but this is also supposed to be an image from space, so the whole thing is kind of like, doesn't really compare to anything that I do per se. But we're going to be working with it a lot more now that I know that there's this sort of image clarity and the blending between several different obvious image types that the AI is using to create these things is impeccable, to say the least. So I think that was for the main images and stuff. We'll go through these real quick for those of you that are just jumping on. These sets of images were just based off of one face image from a model that is a grandma that some of you may be familiar with the from past episodes of the show and some photo shoots. These these photos were made just as the drone invasion was starting, and I wasn't able to put them out up until recently, so I'm glad people are able to put these out now. It's another fun one. We shoot some pet photography, real pets, and Buster's actually done some videography. He's a beagle that my mom has, and that's definitely been fun. But if we catch him flying these drones, we might have to turn his ass in, and hopefully he doesn't have to go to the dog pound, because nobody looks happy here. And let me tell you something. When I created this, right, and I asked AI, can you make the dog the police? Nowhere in it did I say, make the police station somewhere where there are mostly dark people, and I did not say anything about most of the prisoners should be black or some other race that's going to make this appear racist, especially since the dog's face is for, I don't know if it's mostly white, but it definitely is. I don't know. It just seems racist. I don't know if I'm fucking up, because this is a sheriff's badge that's not going to exist anywhere except for an alien fucking world. So, is the fact that it's an AI image making it less racist? Are these even technically humans? Is that even more racist? The fun never ends with AI. We've now this is where I was a little bit more like, okay, this is kind of what I'm looking for, except I don't want other humans with dog heads, and I don't want other dogs that are in there scared as shit of whatever the hell this is and whatever that is, right? So, we're kind of like in between, and the way that I was describing what I needed from the AI was clearly screwed up. Now, this is where the genius of this stuff really started showing through. And this isn't based off of any image that I had, although I have images of my mom's beagle, like I said, Buster. But nothing in this is real. I didn't use anything but a prompt for this. So, I mean, clearly they're using images of, people's dogs, people in general, a restaurant. But to compile it all in a way that actually looks pretty coherent within a matter of seconds after just typing a sentence is something that I can't even describe to you. Like, the feeling of it is just weird. And I urge people, like, you have a bunch of free options to do it now on apps like X. Give it a try. Even the weak one on Facebook. Although Facebook's getting weird now, because now they're saying they want to use AI to generate profiles. that will act as real people to boost engagement and to also explain topics on certain things. And I've already seen some of it, and it's absolute dog crap. It's worse than I'd rather have the paperclip back from Microsoft, to be honest with you. You could bend them into different shapes and shit, whatever you need them for. Let's see what else we got. This was an explanation photo for there's a green fireball that we filmed during the not the Ursid meteor shower, which is happening now, the Geminids, which is happening just prior, and this is a plane that was in the same frame, and this is off of a GoPro um, time lapse photo. So we're actually going to be going out with a Sony A7 III soon with a bunch of specialized lenses that will be able to pull images that are way more clear than this. So I'm definitely excited about that coming up this week, actually, as long as that blizzard doesn't come through, which it might. Very disturbing reindeer with black pupils, although that may be how they actually are in real life. I don't know. This one's kind of small to be able to tell what's going on. There you go. My back's kind of probably going to be sore in the morning. Is this deer that does not know it left from right is dragging me through some mystical wonderland, and I clearly don't want any part of it. What else we got? Okay, now this to everybody involved. This is a multi-layered story. This first off, I do not look like that, especially in the face. Look at the face. Can I get closer on it? Oh my god, the face is a nightmare. It doesn't look that off at first, but when you get the closer you get, the worse it is. And the more creations that I make with AI, it makes way better ones. I'm also really hulking out of this blazer, by the way, although it already looked a little bit too small for my chunky ass. And I don't know what the idea was with this face. I think what had happened was I had a almost like a grimace in the original photo, and we were only using the face and the hat as the original. I think the blue shirt too, and I tried to fix the face just by I just put in like, oh, put a smile that blends and is gentle and all this shit, and you get some terrible shit like that sometimes. So it's it's a fun experience, but God, some of it is a real nightmare. But there's I've been trying to do real estate. I do drone piloting and photography and videography, and I do all my own in-house editing in the Fall River, Massachusetts area. Holla! Um, but unfortunately, with all the shadow banning and all the crazy shit that happened over the past few years with real estate and especially the local area, this is really the best I could do. So, we did shoot some major events for the city and stuff, so that was really fun. But beyond that, this has been my foray into real estate so far, and there's definitely a lot more images like this coming out without the fish face. This was my attempt at trying to be an elf on the first photo, but I just wanted to see exactly what the AI did with limited space, and I find it disconcerting that its first thought was to make the elves, which this may be my fault because I'm not sure. There are certain settings to change on the prompt, and I wasn't sure how to access them at first. But why it chose to give me multi-ethnic kids and like what the hell makes them elves? Because I don't see anything that says elf about them besides that they're wearing winter shit too. It doesn't make any sense. So, and I'm just like, well, at least I got whatever the hell's in there, and I didn't get you guys shit. This is not a gift. It's I think it's supposed to be a sled. So yeah, fun stuff. Like I said, see now this is the original image, um, the original face anyway. But I had already tried to fix the eyes because I think there was something wrong with the hat. So you end up with. It's gonna make it tough to see now. But yeah, you can get a pretty good look. The lips are definitely normal, but the eyes are like looking down and angry for some reason. I don't. There wasn't even any context for that. It was just like the random timing of that photo. This guy's got an egghead. This is Thanksgiving, right? They seem rather normal. But you see how the AI hides their hands behind the hat? That's intentional because it has a real problem with hands sometimes, and fingers especially. Um, this hat is way too small for me, but I'm not giving up on it. It's not a real hat. It could, it should be though. And then you have this lovely ensemble. If this is really what pilgrims are wearing, which is what I asked the AI for, I don't only feel bad for what the hell they were eating, because if you're eating pumpkins and grapes and then they're like, listen, you got some turkey necks, and then they want you to wear this shit, fuck being a pilgrim. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather go back to being just naked with a loincloth and shit, and then having to hunt down a buffalo in order to make a jacket, because no way. I think that'd be a little less dumb than the people that walk up to buffalo and try taking pictures of them. And they're like, look at what I just got close to. It's such a luxurious animal, and it fills my spirit. That sound is the buffalo lifting them 20 feet into the fucking air. Okay. Let's get back to the face-to-face with you. Hiya. God, it just got a lot more gorgeous in here. So, the new year has come. Happy New Year, everybody. Hi, how are you? Hi, Ash. You see this? This is the scales of justice. And they're about to fucking shatter over my head because it's going to be fucking... this year's not going to make any sense at all. I thought 2024 was going to be like a step in the right direction. It's like, okay, we're going away from the pandemic stuff. We're going away from fucking Captain Crazy and the zombie presidency. And all this, the remnants of the Orange Brigade. And now what do you got? I've been waiting to see. It's like, okay, we're gonna get one nice thing, right? And I was trying to discuss it with some people today. And keep in mind, 12:30, we're gonna be jumping on X for about like a half an hour or so, just because it's gonna be the first time of the year that we're jumping on there. It's the first day of the year, and I'd like to do a post live there once every day, so long as they keep it real. We'll try to do that with YouTube as well, but Facebook is on some other tangent and shit. All right, we're gonna be jumping some topics here. The fact that Facebook thinks that we need more AI variants, like a bunch of different ones, which they call experts, and I'll get a little bit technical, but not too much. And they talk about specific shit that you're getting into, right? Has nobody shown them what it's like to watch a YouTube video where you get like a little explanation of the context of what you're watching, and it's the most dumbed down version of and sometimes it's not even accurate shit. Like I've read actual lies on there and have had to report them for it, and this is on multiple occasions, and you get nothing back. You see the same damn thing again, and it gets to the point where it's like, why are you trying to funnel psychotic shit into people's brains? And all I keep seeing is more and more of this stuff. And it's like, oh well, now they want nuclear energy for this AI because it's making such a big difference. It's like, for fucking who? Every day I see all these commercials about sick kids dying slowly, sick people in general, but or living a life where it's like they're tortured by every damn step, and yet you got a whole bunch of assholes that are sitting there typing away, and I don't want to say that they're laughing in your fucking face, but they're certainly rubbing everybody's face in it. That it's like, well, we're doing a lot better, aren't we? It's like, yeah, you are, bitch. Not anybody that actually needs this shit. It's like you got something that can answer every question that you could ever have. And what's it being used for? To make a bunch of people that already know how to use it, or people that already have money, more money. Does anybody else think that that's a little strange at this point? Does anybody else think it's strange that when the people that are supposed to protect you and your skies all of a sudden can't control your skies or your safety? My favorite thing that I heard was, oh, everybody is safe, and all these things that are flying around are by pilots that have licenses and stuff. And it's like, okay, so let's say they are. If they're flying over your house or your head and you weren't told about it, that's illegal. And it's dangerous. They have propellers that spin real fast. And it's like, you don't think that that's pertinent to tell people? I have yet to hear one thing that's come from the White House, a state, or any sort of federal agency that's supposed to be monitoring any of this shit that has said anything to the general public about anything besides, well, just look at the apps that we have and you can see if maybe maybe they'll tell you something. And I've actually had people asking me specifically, and I don't want to be the person that they're asking because I don't get paid to do this, but don't you find it weird, they ask, that I called the police on somebody that was flying a drone over my house in my backyard, and they didn't have any good recourse and couldn't do anything about it? I'm glad you told me before I called. But what do I do next? And it's like, what do you want me to tell you? You did what I told you to do, and now they don't know what to do. It's like, the only next thing you can do in that case is, and this is in the literature, this is what you're supposed to do, is you're not supposed to go near any of these things. You're not supposed to shoot at them or any of this stuff because they can explode and cause a lot of danger and all this stuff. I mean, that should be obvious to most people anyway. And a spinning propeller is dangerous. So you make it crash and it lands in the wrong place, and then you lose an eye, lose a finger. I've nearly lost them myself, and I'm a licensed pilot. But if you can't even have a way to get them down from dangerous places or to stop them from spying on places where they're not supposed to be or flying in places where they're not supposed to be, and maybe you knock down a plane like what just happened in Korea and we had to watch that horrifying shit. It's like, oh, well, it was a bird. And it's like, yeah, you can also edit that footage in the blink of an eye with all the super AI you keep coming out with. So am I supposed to believe anything anymore? Becomes a question really of like, okay, well, where does the limit come into play? Hundreds of people have been reporting in the Fall River, Massachusetts, Swansea, Bristol County area, all the way out to Rhode Island and Tiverton. Hundreds of drones all over the place. It could be the same sets of drones, multiple reports, but there are hundreds of reports going out and nothing being done. Nothing. Not very little even documentation. Meanwhile, right over my studio and neighbors' houses and all this other stuff, you have a Massachusetts police helicopter that is off schedule on their flight and is shooting lights through our houses when reportedly they're looking for a shooter on the highway, which we're nowhere near. And yet again, I ask, it's like, well, are we looking forward to a new year of complete and total horseshit? Because this has all been within the past month. So, you know, every time people hit the share button when we talk about these things and you actually start conversating about, well, is it really safe for something to be the size of a car and flying over my house? I mean, geez Louise. And it really doesn't seem safe that nobody can do anything about it. How odd. It's like, even if you got people just screwing around, or if it just looks bigger than it is, or all this other shit, if they can't do anything about it, the next step, obviously, is for somebody to take advantage of that. That was like the other day on News Nation, which is a program that I usually admire with the stuff that they make available and that they report and come out with. But they had an astronaut on there that said that he was flying a plane. He's a licensed pilot on his, I guess, on his own, and he found two metal orbs stacked on top of each other at his height when he's flying, going in the opposite direction very fast. And he says in the same report that they looked like they were probably some form of United States Black Ops project. And in the very next breath, he says one of the craziest things I've ever heard anybody say, let alone an astronaut. He says, I rather that he would have said that aliens are real, or that he has like a picture of one's nipple or something. He said, I didn't report it until somebody asked me about it, because it looked like a United States Black Ops thing. It's like, so if you got something flying in dangerous places, endangering the public, which you're flying as a public pilot at that point, in public airspace, you're telling me that it's safe to have something that it might be ours, but because you don't want to report it because it could be from another country and just better than our shit, doing some nefarious stuff, and you don't want to say anything. Does anybody get a whiff of that bullshit? And Master of Clothes. Well, we do have Yeti to party, if anybody's asking. There's always a critic. But they usually suck. But yeah, so exotic propulsion, we'll be talking a little bit about that in the next few episodes. I am going to be sending out emails starting this week to local major professors, scientists, universities, all the stuff that would normally feed our interviews for NFG podcast. And we'll finally get some information on all this stuff because unfortunately I've seen several people, teams, live recordings come out of New Jersey, and yet we're still getting official reports that everything is okay. And then other people in official standing in reports, especially in security standing, saying it's not okay. It's getting worse. We see things every night and they can't be explained or knocked down. So, one or the other or a little bit of both has to be true, but people just can't be left in the dark about this stuff and just accepting it for what it is. Especially not with a new year. We got to make it fancy, folks. So let's see how far we are into this here. Another 15 minutes and we're going to be on X for about a half an hour to an hour. And then we're going to call it quits for the night. But we will be back tomorrow with all that fun stuff with the guinea pigs and pet photography. And we'll be chatting a little bit more about some of this drone invasion stuff once we get some clear skies, because I'm going to be flying my drone to show everybody how it's done. No, I want for people to see what a drone can see, and I want people to see a drone with its emergency lights on at night from the ground and from a distance. So that way you'll be able to tell the difference when you see it in public, which is another thing that for some reason everybody that would be trying to keep the public calm and safe, didn't choose to really show people, which I find very odd. They find it more pertinent to scare the shit out of you, which you should be concerned with, I think. I know I am. It's like, I didn't remember paying anybody to put Jack in the boxes in my everyday life and just fuck with me, like, every once in a while. I mean, don't get me wrong, if I were to get that bored, and then maybe. But until that time, I don't know. Things are already kind of, fucked up as it is. But we have fun. I'm not gonna bitch and complain the entire time. Look at all the crazy AI images we were creating. I mean, look at this guy. Yeah. No, YouTube, not that guy. This guy. Where else do you get the ill chillin' pilgrim? Where do you get them? There's no more, all these apps to make beats, and I can't seem to scratch one together without using a whole bunch of free use shit. Which I don't mind. We got some new cool some possible freestyles and some fun stuff coming back this month. We're not going to talk too much about it yet until it's out, but it's gonna be some fun shit. You're gonna see us a lot more in public forums in the New Bedford and Fall River, Massachusetts area over the next few months, probably the next month or two as well. Possibly with some notable photography locations for people to check out. We'll be running photo tours and courses as well. I have more details on that on my website, which we'll leave a link for in the description below. Goodness gracious. Now, I'd like to know what people have seen of the show from the past year that they liked the most, that they remembered, even if it's just one thing, and what they'd like to see in the next year. That's another thing that I'm interested in. But other than that, I hope you have a grand one. I hope World War III doesn't start, and the aliens don't, if the price is to have a forgetful memory and the aliens every once in a while are finger popping my butthole and shit in order for things to stay chill, fucking fine. Fucking fine. I just don't want to remember it. I mean, if you had the choice, right? It's like, well, what do you want? Do you want to fight in a world war, or do you want to have an alien go a little, in your pooper? I don't know. It's something. You feel a little super with something in your pooper sometimes is what they tell you. I wouldn't know. I'm asking you. This is not sponsored. If Pepsi didn't want to give away a jet, they sure as shit not going to want to talk about butt popping. While, you never know, though, Wasn't there a Pepsi banner behind Janet Jackson when she flopped out that gunny sack? I mean, I tried that once. You know, I was performing live somewhere. I was actually doing screamo. But I wasn't any good at it. But actually, that actually made them think that I was better at it. Oddly enough. And eventually, I felt so hot on the mic. I was like, ah, I was really freaking the fuck out. I popped my fucking titty out, and all hell broke loose. You know, people started trying to get milk from it. They're running, jumping over each other like it was World War Z or some shit. I swear I saw a trolley tip over. I didn't even know we had a trolley in Fall River. Holy shit. One lady's like trying to get a chest hair out of her teeth. Oh, it was a fucking nightmare. It's gonna be a fun year, folks. You guys are gonna hear things you never heard before. You guys thought the story of Scroll last year was bad. I nearly went deaf. This is not a joke. The first part, I nearly went deaf. That part's not a joke. Here's the part that is a joke, but it actually happened. There was a guy that I thought was I thought he was special needs. Okay, so I wasn't willing to talk shit about this at first. But then I come to find out that he's good of his own volition, but he's fucked up. Because the guy likes to put his dick on his wrist, like he's got a scroll out, and sit in the restroom and wait for people to pop in there. I'm knocking on the fucking door. I'm like, is anybody gonna fucking answer? And this guy just, like, do you like the Rolex, sir? And I instantaneously, because I'm knocking, I'm thinking there's nobody in there, right? And I'm trying to use echolocation like a fucking bat, but all this, just because my guinea pig's name is Wuhan does not mean I have some sort of super bat hearing or anything like that. So I take a step into the fucking facilities, right? And taking that step into that room made me feel more insecure than when I got hit by a truck and I'm in the air and I'm like, how am I gonna land? Because the first thing I saw was this man's, I don't know what you want to call it exactly, because it had kinks in it like a fucking broken hose. And he's draping this thing over his wrist and he's like, he fucking roars at me. All right. And not with like full force, like halfway, like a monster trying to be romantic. And I'm telling you right now, folks, you've never been as scared as I was in that moment. In that 3 seconds. And the funny thing is I'm pretty sure that would have been the first moment I could have became a Power Ranger. Because if I would have reached behind my back, right, there would have been a morpher. And I could have went, it's morphin' time. And when he went, ruh, I could have jumped up and with both feet kicked him like it's like some sort of Japanese character, bro. And just had him flying with light beams right through the wall and shit. And the only reason I'm even saying that, it's like, oh, well, because some people will be like, oh, maybe he couldn't put it away himself or some shit like that. No. He leaves the door unlocked. He does this to multiple people, right? And I found out that he did it to somebody and then did it again quickly after. And the two people had conversed about it. And I don't know about anything about payoffs and all this other shit. I'm not going to get into that, okay? But the man had powerful friends in high places. But it's like, how do you earn that sort of respect being a beast, right? Roaring at people, showing Rolexes that aren't Rolexes. Maybe some people in New York can tell me. I don't know. I've never been to those bazaars. It's real fucking bizarre in my world. That's all I'm saying. If there's any more of that in 2025, I'm going to the fucking woods, folks. Some of you can come with me, but there's requirements, you know what I mean? No fucking scroll action. You keep that fucking, whatever's in your pocket, whatever digital shit, get it the fuck out of here, chuck it in the water. We don't need it. It's like, oh, well, I really need this, I, re- I really need this piece of metal and plastic that's shaped like a thumb to pop up my poopa in order to be able to tell how much my heart's beating faster because of it. It's like, no, you don't. All you need to know, right, is that doing a little bit of physical activity is good for you, right? Don't be an asshole, and try to build a legacy. If that's what you're fucking into. At the end of the fucking day, life isn't as complicated as what people are making it out to be. And you got to sit there and make some sort of fucking super ultra antichrist demon fucking AI robot prick, and an army of fucking robot dogs that could fuck us at any moment in order to find some semblance of peace. I think that maybe, just maybe, if we calm the fuck down, just a tad, just a fucking dash, like like the guinea pigs have done in the past few minutes, then maybe we'll have ourselves a grand old time. That's an hour, folks. That's all you get for tonight, fuckers and fuckheads. I do salute you. We'll be right back tomorrow with more of this shit, but we're going to be right back on X in just a few minutes for about another half an hour live, just because it's the first day of the year. All right, I'm so excited. 2024 is over. What a shit year. Ugh. I really thought that the Incans, or whatever the hell they were like, don't worry, that's going to be the shittiest. So we'll see. This one could be a shitty, real boring. Could be real fucking awesome. I don't know. In a week we're gonna get that fancy blizzard of the Northeast, so nobody, as long as nobody dies in it or gets hurt, and we get to get a couple of nice pictures of it and some video and shit, it'd be pretty cool. And we'll continue all the other fun stuff that we're doing. See you folks later. Oh, what else we got here? Some people talking. Can you make me moderate? Okay. Only eat 3 to 5 times a day. Try to keep below 2,500 calories unless you have some sort of medical need. And keep in mind, I cannot give medical advice. I'm not a doctor. What else you got? What are you talking about? He's a master of clothes. His girlfriend. Well, let's see. What are you talking about? A whole bunch of crazy shit. He's a master of clothes. I've masturbated in clothes before and out of them. His girlfriend, yeah. AI is going to make some interesting things with sex bots. One thing I do not prescribe, no, is replacing humans with that. Even if they make that crazy robot womb thing and shit, and they're like, oh, we can make a baby with just your nut and all this. It's like, dude, man, are you gonna just take away all of your humanity? Really? Part of me thinks that maybe things lived for so long and maybe monuments didn't, just in general, right, is because of the long-lasting ability of DNA. I could be wrong on this, but one day we'll look at the science. I'm just saying, you're not in a robot, and then all of a sudden it's like, I don't like what you said to me, and then it just fucking rips your shit off of some shit. It's just like kind of like fucking a chimp. Are you gonna do that? No. Is it smart? Maybe, yeah. Could it maybe be smarter than you one day and get Planet of the Apes going, and all of a sudden makes one of my cousins laugh like hysterically because every time it goes, oh, human, and does shit like that, like she just gets a real laugh out of it. I don't know. I find it fucking, it that movie disturbs me as little as C3PO does for the whole AI thing to me, because I'm like, well, if you make that, that's fine, even if there's a bunch of them. It's like, it's only slightly aggravating. You start making shit where it's like everything's a fucking hallucination and we're going to sell shit to you in your dreams. You're not even going to have any fucking ability to like anybody that you work with. No friends, no fucking families, no nothing. Go fuck yourself. It's like, who do you people think is fucking up here? The ones that are draining all of the poor people of all their opportunities to live a normal life? Or the slaves that need to have all the things taken from them that they've been able to hold on to because these assholes need more? And then you wait till somebody starts fucking killing him with bushy eyebrows? What? And his name is fucking Luigi? I mean, what's next? He's gonna jump down a fucking sewer pipe and pop out the other side and his cousins with fucking Mario? Hanging out with some stupid lizard that licks everything? It's like, we had COVID. Do you need to spread the next one? No bird flu this year. Keep your feathers crossed. And then everybody talking about all this fucking fake ass shit. I mean, look, there's enough real shit going on as it is. China hacked the Rhode Island, all the poor people's information, and the United States Treasury. And you want to keep saying like, oh, they only got the unclassified stuff. It's like, yeah, well, you only got a fucking dick up your ass. Like, well, what the fuck are you? I've never heard so many people that are paid to keep all of us safe and all of us from not losing like a world war, literally losing our freedom, from all of us not getting everything taken from us, burned alive and fucked and all this shit. Just sit there and go, well, I fuck up daily, but like, what the fuck? is you fucking crazy? How much of it do you have to see? You literally got somebody that's teeing off on Captain Laranja out there. Look, I hate Tang as much as the next guy, but to sit there and to say that, oh well, somebody should be able to kill somebody else just because like the policies is coming out with those policies and directly go. You've already talked too fucking much. You put these people in power and then you don't like what they do because they turn around and lie flat to your face and take their power away by stopping paying them. Your vote isn't the only thing you have, you fucking idiots, is what I want to say to people. But what does that do? That makes it sound like I'm blaming people for stuff that they really don't have any choice in the matter of because they're not taught that they have these things like freedoms. They're just like they're told it arbitrarily and then they're gradually taught throughout the entirety of their lives you actually don't have any fucking freedom. You get fucked, and learn to accept it. And this is true for the majority of the planet. And keep that in mind, is just because you keep seeing these people on these screens continuously, that's not the real world. The real world is everybody around you right now in the real fucking world getting fucked. And it's not just you and people that want to escape to the digital world instead of doing the work here. They're not just fucking themselves, they're fucking everybody that would rely upon them. And see, yet again, it sounds like it makes it sound like we're eating each other and like we hate each other or some stuff, but we all rely upon each other in one form or another. The same way like different species rely on each other for different things on the planet, and you wipe one out and a whole bunch of others get affected. So, I don't like the negativity that we've had from the past year. I'd like to see a lot of that change this year. So far, I've yet to see anything yet that makes me feel very excited besides the things that we're doing on our own in our little formats and pages and shows and stuff. And there are a few people I see out there that are still doing good things, even in the local area. There were some people that really helped out with the fundraisers this year for food, jackets, and furniture. Very awesome. Heart goes out to you. Hat tip to you. And I'm losing hair, so that means something. And all right, we're going to go back onto X, and like I said, we'll be back tomorrow with more stuff here as well. Very fun, very fun. Fuck Facebook at this point. They're so weird, dude. We're going to make a bunch of fake profiles even more. You just took them away. You had the bot purge, remember? Ugh.